the most difficult 18 months in my career as the chief exec. How we survived is down to one simple thing really, it's the team here. The staff, the volunteers have been absolutely phenomenal. They've been so flexible, so up for doing things differently. They've been so resilient. They're the ones that have kept the hospice going, that have kept the hospice open when it's been needed its very most.
So Lawrence was my husband. We've been together 20 years. I met him in London. We then moved up to Teesside where his family lived. Been up here probably about 15 years. We then found out that Lawrence had cancer, which was obviously a bit of a shock, and had a lot of palliative chemotherapy. When that stopped working, we came to Teesside Hospice just to get some extra support really, just help with kind of pain medication, that kind of thing.
One of the friendliest places I've ever worked in, and I think I laugh most days with sort of different colleagues. But I think the biggest misconception is that the hospice just looks after people who are dying from their disease, unfortunately. About 60% of what we do is actually looking after people with symptoms from their diseases to make sure that we can get their symptoms controlled so they can actually get back home to be with their loved ones and actually live the lives that they have as best as they can. It's kind of getting them back to being themselves.
Just absolutely amazing. The difference, I think, was that they had so much time for both of us individually. Just a very, very caring place. Lawrence wasn't really one that trusted doctors that much. He just never really had much time for doctors, but when he came here he actually connected with doctors here and kind of made friends with some of them and really felt that they were kind of on his side. I think we both did actually.
We do look after people at the end of their lives, but we also help people living with life-limiting conditions sort of cope with their conditions and support them, and so they can be at home with their loved ones, and that's what's really important to know as well, that we do both, and that's what's sort of, I think a lot of people don't understand about palliative care.
We talk a lot about systems working in healthcare, and COVID has really brought this to the fore. At the outset of the pandemic, we wanted to look at what resources do we have at Teesside Hospice that could benefit not just us, but the wider community around us. So within our inpatient unit, where we've got the only specialist beds in the whole of South Tees, we worked with James Cook to make sure that we were able to bring people in from the hospital as quickly as possible when they were under pressure. We were able to help people in Stockton who haven't been able to access the hospice over there because they've been closed for part of this period. And we've had our specialist clinical team here being able to offer telephone support and outreach support to GPs and other professionals out in the community so that they can look after the people that they're responsible for who have got more specialist level palliative care needs.
So I was terrified of hospices and what it meant for me and Lawrence. So I came to an open day here and spoke to a lovely nurse who kind of answered all my questions, and the questions about kind of what happens at the end just really kind of put me at ease. When Lawrence saw the great support that I'd got, he came back the following week to the open day. It was wonderful really, because it was like the first place that Lawrence got any kind of emotional support for kind of a professional counsellor. It was the first place that they really dealt with his medication, his pain. They had him in for a couple of weeks as an inpatient, just looking at kind of his symptoms and trying to reduce pain. And it was good. It was a place that we both kind of trusted.
Of course you get emotionally attached to them, but you do it in a professional way. I think we are a part of the wider family, and obviously we are the ones who are looking after them, unfortunately, till the very end. So you do get attached.
COVID has shown us very clearly that there's going to be a huge traumatic impact on people's lives for many years to come. We spent the last year looking again at our counselling service, and we restructured the way that we're delivering it. We're making it much more focused and having more resource available to support people who are experiencing some of the trauma and complex grief that we know COVID will be bringing for the next few years.
So I think the therapy really helped him. It helped him to kind of accept what was happening, and it helped us both to enjoy what time we had left. I think it kind of ended the nightmare in a funny sort of way, because even though the prognosis was still there, we actually had people that were helping with things that maybe we didn't even know that we needed. We got help that we didn't even know that we needed sometimes, like with financial support, with going on holiday. They helped us to get one last holiday in before Lawrence died. Just loads of little different things that really made a big difference.
We help people at the worst part of their life, and we help carers and loved ones remember the person who's sadly no longer with us in the best possible way. So we make sure that they're dignified and make sure that they're peaceful and make sure that they're well looked after if they are reaching the end of their life. And if it's looking after people with pain or breathlessness or a fear, we help them with that as well. And I think knowing that we can't always change the condition that they have, but we can definitely make the sort of the quality of their life as best we can for the time that they have. And that's what makes my job so fulfilling, I think. I think it's sort of helping people when they need us the most.
I absolutely love Teesside Hospice. So I just think they're wonderful people. The job they do is so good here because it's genuine. They actually genuinely do care. It is way beyond what you could kind of expect. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate of Teesside Hospice. They do an amazing job, and I want to do anything I can to help them.